we open to a tight, simple view. A 3-foot square of floor. Mahogany hardwood on the left, meeting the fringe of a gold and crimson rug on the right. All faintly lit by a flickering bluish glow. Then, in a moment, the blue glow vanishes, and there is a discordant, hollow sound as a lute hits the hardwood floor, tumbling into view, followed by a slowly expanding pool of blood. Remy, it's your turn.
I am currently grappled by Edwin.
Yes,
So,
you are.
I'm gonna try to break that grapple.
Edwin, do you attempt to resist?
Beyond any reasonable doubt, yes.
Okay. Acrobatics or athletics from you, Remy, and athletics from you, Edwin.
It's a dirty 20.
That's a 4.
Okay, that is a start. Remy, you are still grappled. That is your action.
Right? Well, I didn't want to do this, but I'm going to cast Blink.
Okay.
Using Quicken Spell.
Okay.
Sorcerer. I forgot about
Yep.
And I'm going to roll on the
that.
Wild Magic Surge table.
Okay.
I forgot that's a thing.
Gonna pull this up. That is a 55.
Okay.
Yes. A spectral shield appears next to me.
I'm sorry, did you say spectral tree?
Shield. I
Shield.
believe shield is the word.
Oh,
that-
shield.
All grown up.
As I blink out of existence.
Okay.
And
Okay, hold on. Is there anything I need to know about this tree, or is it just a tree?
no,
that's
it's a
chilling?
shield. It's a shield. I
Shield.
get
Oh, it's
plus
shield,
10 bonus
sorry.
to my AC.
Oh,
and
okay, it does
I'm
do
immune to
something.
Magic missile.
Wow, and it comes with you.
Yep.
Okay. Does it say how long it lasts?
1 minute.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Aedwin, you hear and feel movement from Remy as she attempts to escape, and then that movement turns into the casting of a spell. And in a moment, there is a arcane shield that appears, and then both her and the shield blink out of existence. And your arms are empty. And it is your turn.
I'll use my
Oh,
movement. Even though I'm in the
Mm-hmm.
technically in the ethereal plane, I can still see this plane, so I will move
Yes.
25 feet out, I guess, here.
15, 20, and up.
Oh, wait. However far I can get, yeah, up.
Up. Like that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Or
Yep, that works.
They
Okay.
were also 10 feet off the map.
Yes, I can't count for that. Okay. Aedwin, it is your turn. You have no idea where Remy went.
What the fuck? I'm gonna step 10 feet out of the... Well, I'm not gonna step out of the hallway, but I'm gonna try and observe the foyer.
Into the arch?
Well, into the room in general. Have I noticed any change amongst these little fuckers? Or are they still flying around like a little menace?
They just seem to be hovering in place. That's all you can get. You don't see them looking or anything like that because they don't have eyes.
Right.
Brightwing, you're going to be next.
We're gonna do rollies.
Okay. Rollies yourself.
Yep. Edwin is going to 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay.
And then action dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay. All invisible, so no attacks of opportunity.
Mhm.
And that's your turn?
That'll be my turn.
Okay. It is Luna's turn. Okay. It is technically some of these hovering tables' turns, but they have absolutely nothing within vision or are going to keep doing what they're doing. So Brightwing, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to try and get past the construct.
Okay. The big one at the top?
Yes.
You have
Okay.
speed?
So you're going to move.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a 30
So-
movement, I believe. And I
And I assume you're going to action dash.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get you 30 feet.
Yeah.
And you can tell with your passive perception that if you make another run straight, you're basically going to end up right under it. Do you want to do that, or do you want to try to go to the side?
Yeah, I'll go to the side.
Okay, so another 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You're right next to it.
That's great. I don't want to cast anything. And yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And I'll just
More of these creatures are going to stand pat, let their turn go. Eclipse, it is your turn.
Okay. Okay, so I'm still.
In the stairwell.
Yep. And I action dash, so that should get me the 60 feet. And then I'm gonna action surge, which I don't think gets me more movement, but I can use that action to get another 30 feet.
Dash.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
So you can move 30 feet, action dash, and then action surge to dash if that's what you want to do.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. You use your movement and your action dash, and it gets you into the hallway of Hugo's office. And you see, roughly 30 feet ahead of you, his office door ajar. And you action surge dash to get to the door.
Do I
Okay.
see anything as I'm running to the door?
Not so you're kind of running down a hallway, and the door is perpendicular to this hallway you're running down. So you get almost there before you really see into the door at all, like within 5 or 10 feet. As you get there and arrive, you see through the open door, the office looks tossed. You see no figures, but you do see on the ground, right in front of you, a lute with a pool of blood forming around it. And it seems to be growing in the moments you arrive. That is what you see. That is your turn.
Can I bonus action to Brightwing and just scream into the earring?
Yes, you can. What's
there
the
aren't
range
gonna
on
be
the
any words, but it's just...
What's the
Oh.
range on the earring?
I don't know.
Hang on, I got it. It's... Where is it? There it
I
is.
think it's 150 feet.
It's 250 feet.
250 feet? Okay, you're
Easy.
good. What do you yell?
He's gone. Faye's gone. I need you.
I'm on my way.
Okay. And you are standing at the doorway. It is all these creatures' turn. This one is going to back up to here.
Oh, fuck.
Brightwing,
Oh,
it's
She also-
blocking the doorway.
She also spoke out loud, right?
Yes, you have to whisper to cast this. In fact,
Oh.
okay. This creature moves back and is standing right above you. Roll a general dexterity saving throw.
I won't want to count that because I flew out of my hand. And I didn't want to roll it.
If you were shaking your dice to make an intentional roll, it usually counts.
Okay. It just went the other way. I went through it this way. It just went out that way. Okay. That would be an 11.
Okay. The DC was 10.
Oh, thank God.
You just adjust your body slightly as it arrives to not get knocked into by it and have it potentially react. You are within inches of this creature, but it stands in the door, and both of them seem otherwise unaware and are focused forward as far as you can tell.
Great.
Yasnip, it is your turn.
First instinct is to pull further into the tunnel with Luna. And is she bleeding? She got hit by the big statue. Is there like an open wound that I can try to help staunch, or?
I would say that there's like a gash in her head that is bleeding out a little bit, and she is definitely unconscious.
So probably just pull her to one of the walls and have this inner monologue moment of like, all right, you've seen Brightwing do this a number of times. And I'm gonna put my hand over the wound and just try to apply pressure to it.
Okay, and you pulled back like 10 feet, you said?
Yeah, we'll say 10.
Okay, roll a medicine check.
It's a 6.
Okay.
Okay, it's good. It's good.
Anything else on your turn?
No.
Okay. Faye, it is your turn. I need you to roll a death saving throw and DM me the result. Remy, you're going to be on deck. Okay. Remy, it's your turn.
I blink out of existence and I appear here. Back into existence, rather. And I'm
Okay.
going to start running where everyone else has gone, or where I saw Faye flying.
Okay. Okay, you take that path so you don't go through the range of the table on the right.
Mhm.
Okay, that's your movement.
And then action dash.
Okay. And I need you to roll for blink.
I rolled an 8.
Okay. All right. Aedwin, you are up. You see
Do I-
very... Go ahead.
Do I see down
The
these
hallway,
passageways?
yes, you would see Luna on the ground. You don't see anyone else. Okay. Aedwin, you see not far from you suddenly Remy appear and then dart forward as fast as her very little legs can manage. And then she seems to brace herself for a second. And nothing happens, and she is standing there. If you're talking, you're muted.
No, I'm talking to myself. I'm trying to.
Okay,
do logistics.
fair
I'm
enough.
trying to figure out what the. Oh.
Brightwing, you'll be next, by the way. I'll leave it up to you whether you see this or not. You would hear the pitter-patter with your passive perception of those feet, but you're not looking this way. So I'll leave it up to you whether you make notice of Remy.
She's in my line of sight. I would definitely see her.
For you, yes. You can also see a bit of Brightwing between the legs of these statues.
She's invisible.
She's
Nope, you
invisible.
can't see any of Brightwing. Nope. Oh, man.
I got the power of the dust.
Is the dust that binds us.
Why do you have to do this to me? I gotta play rollies again.
Was a baseball bat for a second.
No, it's a rain stick.
Oh boy.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
What are you doing, Aedwin?
Screaming internally. I'm going to. God damn it. Do I have? I do. Okay, I do. So this is the play then. Going to bonus action cast Misty Step.
Okay.
So Aedwin dissolves into just a swarm of embers, and does that breaks invisibility though?
Yes, it does.
It does. And do I happen to know what the range on these guys is? Is it 10 feet?
You mean as far as they can hit?
Yeah.
I believe they only have actually swung at one thing, which was Luna when you were on the complete other side running away. So
So I
I'm going to
wouldn't
say
know.
no, you don't know.
I wouldn't know. Okay.
Nah, they
And-
swat at me. I think they swat at me.
The little ones.
I think the table
You were
swung at
invisible
Oh, okay.
before that
Yeah.
happened. Yeah.
None of these
Okay.
things have gotten
What is
within your guys'
this
range.
space again, by the way?
That
Oh,
It's fire.
that's gone.
is that
No.
you could blink is
That's
concentration,
gone?
right?
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah,
Cool.
that's gone.
So
There's
I
a faint
will-
smell of apple pie still floating in the room from the remnants of it.
Incredible.
right.
So I will Misty Step here. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did before. So I'm going to come up here and attempt to scoop up Remy.
I will say you can do that with your action.
Okay. With my action, you whore.
You would have been able to do it with your bonus action, but you cast a spell with your bonus action.
That is correct. Why are you making my life so difficult?
You still have some movement, though.
I have 20 feet of it, which doesn't get me far enough to.
I will also say, Remy, are you willing to be picked up in this moment?
That's
No.
also the next thing. Yeah.
Then I need you to make an athletics check, and Remy, you can make an acrobatics check.
Mhm.
18?
17.
Okay, so she dodges as you grab for her. You don't actually have her.
Fucking.
I will say it doesn't use your action up, but
This is how we're gonna do this. And he is going to step around. And yeah, I wasted a second level spell slot for this. Boy. So I didn't use my action, is what you said.
not yet used your action.
Okay, so I'll take the dodge action
Okay.
and attempt to goad them into going for me instead of anything else that is close by, and that will be my
Okay.
turn.
Okay. Okay. Luna is up. Okay. The number 1 tables are up, and they see some creatures. They use their action to dash. And that's what they can do. Brightwing, you are up. Given the arrival of Aedwin, you now definitely see what's going on behind you.
I think since Eclipse called me on the phone, I think that tone of her voice was more perception of like, you need to be here right now. And I'm gonna trust Aedwin. But if Aedwin could see Brightwing's face as she turns to run, it's like a heartbreaking, like, I don't know what to do. But you can't see her face because she's invisible.
Okay.
So
So
she's
you
gonna-
run.
Yeah.
Okay. You are 25, and you're gonna action dash, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay, you are 55 feet up the stairs. I'll make note of that. I'll put you there. Okay. These things. And as far as that one can get. Eclipse, you are up.
Okay, so there's a loot. There's a loot on the ground. There's a pool of blood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna. Can I see any impressions in the blood? Does it look like it's surrounding something? Can I see anything that doesn't look normal for a pool of blood on the ground? Or even just step into the room over it while I pick up the loot?
So, which of those two things would you prefer to do? And I will give you some answers.
I think I'd pick up the loot and try to walk into the room.
Okay, the loot is like probably 6 or 7 feet from you. It
Okay.
seems to have rolled into the room.
Okay. So I'll,
So you're gonna
I'll walk
go towards
it
to
then.
pick it up.
Yeah.
Your foot bumps into what feels to be a body.
Okay. I'll feel around for it for a second and then try to see if I can find anything.
Okay. I will say roll a medicine check. It will be with disadvantage. Unless you want to use something to cancel it.
I'm gonna use the DM inspiration to cancel it. And the inspiration's a D8 still from bards?
Yes.
Okay. It's 18 total.
18.
Yeah.
Okay. You kick into this form, feel it, begin to put the pieces together, kneel down, and start to feel across it. And it takes very little time to feel, and you can even see where these small spurts of blood are coming from. And you see it. And you feel to that point, and you feel a gash in the shoulder. It doesn't take much to determine for you that this is Faye's body. You know what she looks like. You see the loot. And you feel that wound. Start to put pressure on it. And as you do, you feel the body, as you move with it. And given your experience over the years, I would say have enough understanding to know the limpness you feel is not unconscious.
I'm gonna pick her up and just use the earring again and just braille. Please.
Okay.
I'm gonna start going downstairs.
Okay.
I don't know how much movement I have.
What does it take to use the Earring of Whisper?
I think it's it doesn't say. It's a
It
free
just says
action.
you can speak? Okay.
It's a free action.
Okay. Then I will say it takes a bonus action to pick up Faye's body, and you have 25 feet left of movement.
Okay. If
So
I'm
you are-
allowed to action dash, I will.
You've
But
used your
it's-
action to make a medicine check.
Okay, that's fine.
So you're 25 feet back towards the stairwell, which is about 10 feet from the archway where the stairwell reaches this hallway.
Okay.
Okay? These creatures are up. Oops. That one also has to action dash. Okay. And then these two things are up. This one is going to move down to here. Both of them now see a target, and they're both going to swing at you, Aegwin. One on the left.
They're at disadvantage as well.
Yes, they are. The disadvantage makes it a 13.
That is a miss.
From the one on the right. That's a natural 20. And a natural 18. That one will hit.
That one will hit, yes.
$19 bludgeoning damage. And that is their turn. Yasnip, you are up.
Would I see? I'd obviously hear these guys in the hall, right?
Yes, from where you are, you absolutely see Aedwin, Remy, and what has encircled them.
Just gonna pull the hand back, see the blood still coming, and looking up to them, I'm going to, as a last-ditch effort, pull my water skin and the sling, and I'm going to put the water skin against the side of her head, and I'm going to tie that fucking sling as hard as I can to apply pressure.
Okay, roll another medicine check.
Tourniquet. Let's go tourniquet.
It's a 13.
Okay.
Good. That's good.
And I'm just gonna tap her. Gotta do this yourself, Luna. I'm gonna start running towards the room.
Okay. You're 20 feet in, so you can get 10 feet into the room if you want.
Is that here?
Yep.
That's my turn.
Okay.
Good job. Solid.
Remy, it is your turn.
I'm gonna run towards Luna.
Okay. You will take 4 attacks of opportunity. You have a +2 to your AC, correct? Okay.
So it's 14.
Good lord. Okay, the first one is a 22. That's 1 hit. That one is a 11. That's a 16. So 2 hits. And that's a dirty 20. 3 hits. I'm just going to roll all these dice at once. .29 bludgeoning damage. Are you conscious?
I am.
Okay, then you can move 30 feet. And you can action dash if you want. Well, 25 feet, because you are we.
25 feet here.
Okay.
Where's my
Does blink drop, by the way, or do you have to roll
Oh.
concentration here?
roll concentration?
You need 4 concentration checks. All of them are a DC of 10.
It's gone.
Okay.
So 25 feet there, and then another 25 feet going inside.
Okay. Action dash.
Do I
Okay.
get to Luna?
You are adjacent to Luna.
I will bonus action quicken spell and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. Roll Cure Wounds.
2d8 plus. Okay. It's 10 plus 8. 18 points of.
Wow. Okay. What does this look like? Your magic.
Kind of this, like, almost galaxy-looking dust starts to appear in my hand, like multicolored fog, and I just put my hands on her chest and start doing like CPR compresses.
Mm-hmm.
And as that happens, like the dust kind of spreads out throughout her body.
Okay. It spreads out, covers, and then sinks in. A second goes by. No words, but she sees you.
And also, I rolled for 4, so I can see anything that's invisible for the next minute.
Okay. Amazing. Okay. All right, Aedwin, it is your turn.
You're muted.
Now you are not talking to yourself.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, I mean, yeah. Once again, just as the previous round, I will disperse into embers as I cast Misty Step again.
Okay.
And what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25? I use the rest of my movement to get to everybody else.
Into the hallway to where Luna and Remy are.
Yes.
Okay.
And I will action lay on hands for 25.
Okay. To Luna?
Oh, no, sorry. I don't have 25. I have 5. No, to me.
Okay.
I am on death's door.
Very fair. Okay. You lay on hands yourself.
Y'all like
Yeah.
barricade the hallway?
Most of that shit's too big to get through the hallway anyway. Doesn't matter.
Oh, the tables.
The tables are small.
They're trash.
There are some tables like the long ones you see in this hallway in that hallway if you guys end up wanting to do something. Okay, that's your turn, Adwin?
That's gonna be it. Yeah.
Okay, it is Luna's turn.
Girl, I
Holy
swear.
shit! Is everyone
Are you
okay?
Are you okay? You look dead. I thought you were dead.
I think I've been better. Are we running?
No, we're staying right the fuck here, and that includes you too, Remy. I swear to fucking God, if you leave, we're gonna
Okay.
have problems. We
Luna
need to-
stands up, pulls out a pair of daggers, and braces herself in the hallway where she is not moving at Edwin's request. Okay. These two get up to you, Yasnip. Oh, well, no.
Gossip's invisible.
You're invisible.
They wouldn't see him. Yeah.
And you know what? They are not commanded to chase after things. They are commanded to guard this room. So they are going to do this and this and stand guard in these hallway points. Brightwing, you are up.
How's that fire looking? Is it spreading?
Not necessarily. It's like beginning to catch in the carpet so far, but it's been like legitimately 12 seconds since it landed there, so.
I'm running until I. Is Eclipse invisible too?
No.
Yes.
She is, actually.
Eclipse has not done anything to break invisibility yet. But you're running up?
Yeah. Until I see something or run into something.
Okay. You run up the stairs. Action dash, I assume. If that's what
If
it takes
30
to get
feet
to the
doesn't
top.
get me anywhere, then yeah.
No. 30 feet does not get you to the top. Okay. You dash. And Eclipse and Faye in Eclipse's arms are 65 feet from where you were. So you dash 60 feet and basically step one square into the hallway at the top of the stairs, see nothing for a couple seconds, and then with your passive perception, I would say you see some dripping of blood. And Eclipse, if
I
you
can't
want
see
to
her,
say
she's
something,
invisible.
you would hear her though.
Okay.
You would definitely hear feet running. Now you don't know whose feet they are, but as they approach you and get within 5 feet, you know something is very close to you and invisible, so you can do with that what you will.
I think I'll get a little more defensive and kind of hold Faye a little tighter, but just be like,
Eclipse?
I don't know how to break this, and I don't know how to fix this. She's not alive.
You hear that from right in front of you.
And I
You have a
don't-
bonus action.
I do have bonus actions. What should I do with bonus action? Too many things. I don't care about my invisibility now. I think just instinctively she's gonna try and do a first level ooh. Can I heal if I can't see anybody?
It depends on the wording of the spell, but I know many of them say a creature you can see.
Creature you can
It is, you
touch
can
is cure
see.
wounds. Healing word. Healing word.
If I didn't make it clear enough, she's
Yes, you did.
yeah.
I
mean,
think
you
she's
said
gonna
it.
instinctively reach out, and I don't know if I touch Faye or if I touch Eclipse, but I think she just instinctively tries to heal at first. So you can do a coin flip on who I touch.
Okay, it's a
with
cure
cure
wounds.
First level cure wounds.
Okay,
Oh no, it's a bonus action. It's not a frank. I already
it would have to
gashed.
be healing word. Yep.
And I can't do a healing word because I can't freaking see anything.
Okay, then no, you cannot.
Ah, hold on, let's do actions. Bonus actions.
Do you say what you're trying to do?
Don't we
Um,
see Faye now?
Nope.
No, she's so
No, she's
invisible.
So even after death, the invisible still lasts.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did some study, and that's what the call
Okay.
is.
Cool. Great. Awesome.
I'll bonus action then cast spiritual weapon to
Okay.
guard us at the door.
Okay,
And that breaks your invisibility.
it
yeah,
does.
I want my invisibility to break.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's...
Okay. There's a spiritual weapon behind you in the stairwell, and Eclipse, you see Brightwing appear looking frazzled.
Okay.
Okay.
And Matt, would you like to choose what the wilds would send to this moment? Because I don't freaking
Actually, you know what? It's not hard. I think it would be a panther.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's
This.
it.
Yep. This creature is going to fan out. Fan out. Eclipse, you're up.
Okay. She's... Shit. I don't know what I have that breaks this. Fucking invisibility. Does doing anything, like bonus actions or anything, break it?
Roll an Arcana check.
Megan, no!
Just kidding. It's a 2.
You don't know.
Fuck. All right, I'm gonna second wind anyway. It's a
Okay.
bonus action.
Roll your second wind.
Okay. It's really shit. Whatever. It's not the point. Okay. I get 7 back or whatever.
Okay. You feel the vigor flow back into you to a degree, but you look down at your arms holding invisible body, and they are also still invisible.
Do I put her down? What do you want me to do? Right, what do you want me to do?
Just put her down. I'll
Okay.
do the best I can. I've never done this before.
Okay, so I'm gonna put her down, and then
Okay.
I don't know, punch the floor, like anything, like just I'm so pissed right now.
Interesting.
Punch the floor. Punch the floor.
Okay. I will
Hey, if-
say
A barbarian can punch a wall to keep rage.
I
think
will
you could-
say that I will count that in this instance as an attack. Just for the heck of it. What is your strength?
Like my modifier or just the total?
Your modifier.
It's a +4.
Okay. I'm going to say you take 5 bludgeoning damage
Okay.
as you slam your fist into the ground. Feel probably a finger or two or a knuckle at least dislocate. And Brightwing, you see in front of you Eclipse's form appear.
She's definitely dead.
And you put her down.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This thing is going to set up next to its counterpart here. And same here. That's their turn.
I'll be
And
right
these
back.
two are going to back into the doorway. Okay. Yasnip, you're up.
Luna's standing.
Luna has stood up, yes. And you see Remy And Eadwyn, actually, while everyone is visible except for you.
I'm going for the hallway towards Hugo's office.
Okay, you're just gonna run? Okay. 5, 10, 15. These creatures are large enough that you can move through their space. 25, 30. It'd actually be 30, 35. And you can action dash?
Yep.
Okay, you're 25 feet up the stairs.
That's all I got.
Okay. Okay. Remy, it is your turn.
I
Luna
see
is
him
conscious,
leave.
standing next to you. Yes, you do. You see him leave.
Wait, Yasna?
No, you don't
Oh,
see him
that-
leave. He's invisible
No, you
still.
do,
I
because you
can
can
see
see things that are
invisibility.
invisible.
Oh, you can see invisible
Oh.
things. Oh my gosh.
I will say that you would see, because he was going into the room where you and Eadwyn were, and when Eadwyn Misty steps past him, you'd see him turn, look at the three of you, and then just kind of hold for a minute, look at you again, and then just run.
Okay. You see all that. You're the only one who does see all that.
Yasmin, wait, it's dangerous there. We've got to go after him.
You're muted,
Yeah.
Sean.
He's not there.
Not anymore, he just left.
He was never there to begin with.
He was. I could see him.
Just for the heck of it, Remy, roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Ageman, if you want to roll an insight check, you can. Otherwise, it'll be your passive insight.
17.
I would rather peek out into the room and see if I can see Yasna.
Well, you can do
well,
that
I
at some
wouldn't.
point.
I wouldn't have seen him regardless if he was already.
She
upstairs.
seems convincing, is all I'll say. It's still your choice what to do with that. Remy, do you want to do anything with your turn after this brief conversation? You know you don't have blink on you anymore.
I'll just cast Mage Armor.
Okay. And stay where you're at.
Mage Armor.
Luna still has a dripping water skin on the side of her head.
Yep.
Becomes 13 plus Dex.
Mhm.
So 15, 17 now.
Yes, it is.
And I'll just wait. I'll move a little closer to the
Stand.
exit.
Okay. So like a little bit inside the archway?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Aid, when you're up, you see this happen. She casts a spell on herself and
I'm
then
going
steps a little bit
to-
forward.
Oh, god damn it. Adwin's gonna pull her back.
Okay. Roll an athletics check. Remy, roll an acrobatics check.
19.
7.
7. Okay, you feel the back of your robe grabbed.
I already almost died for you once.
You didn't have to do that. And I don't appreciate you.
You're gonna have to try that one more time. You cut out.
Say it again.
You didn't have to do that. I know what I'm doing. And please let go of me.
You know what you're doing. You're gonna have a very difficult time convincing me of that. If it's dangerous for him, it's dangerous for us.
I'm gonna say that's as much as you guys can get out. You grab her though. Do you want to pull her back or just hold on?
I'm pulling her back in.
Okay, you can get about another 10 feet back inside. All right, and you currently have her grappled.
Yes.
That's your turn?
Yes.
Ooh-wee. You pull her back, and then you hear the soft patting of feet and feel a small point at your neck. Glance sideways, and you see Luna holding up a dagger. This isn't your choice to make.
I'm trying to keep people fucking alive.
Remy? Do you say anything, Remy?
You know another way to your dad's office?
Yeah, a long way.
If we're not risking our lives to do it, then let's take it.
She glances at Aedwin as he says that, glances back at you, Remy, with like a quizzical look. Anything?
I can't do anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine, follow me. And she starts heading down the hallway, away from the main room.
Every single fucking citizen of this place is a psychopath. All of them are crazy.
Okay. Brightwing. It is your turn.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go up to where I believe Faye is, because Faye is still invisible.
You see Aedwin, you see Eclipse kneeling about 4 feet from you and having just like had her arms outward towards the ground as she appeared. You get the strong sense that Faye is legitimately 1 or 2 feet in front of you on the ground.
And she kneels down as well, and with very shaky hands, she gets to her pack and starts rummaging through it and takes out the diamond that Faye gave her. And she'll look back up to Eclipse. I'll need your help on this. Okay. Let's be with us. And I'm gonna cast Revivify as a ritual.
Ritual. Okay. Okay. This will start a 1-minute cast.
No, it's 10-minute. It has to be cast in 1 minute, but it's a 10-minute ritual. So
Revivify is an action.
it's an action. It's an action. You can cast it in 1 minute, and that's just it. But you are suggesting to do this as a Revivify, and that
As a
turns into
as a ritual.
10-minute ritual.
Yes, that you're right. Thank you. So it adds the cast time to that.
So if the people can get here in 10 minutes, they can also be added to the ritual.
Okay. So you start.
I start the ritual casting.
Okay. Eclipse, do you want to do anything?
I think I look past her, kind of zoned out slightly. See the spiritual weapon that she summoned, and she starts to break down. And that's about it.
Okay. Yasnip, you're moving. Action dash.
Yep.
Okay. You get a good chunk of the way up the stairs for this turn. Remy, are you going to follow Luna? Okay. Aedwin, are you going to follow Luna? Okay. Then, for now, we are out of initiative. And 10 minutes from the end of Revivify. No one knows what happens in this room over that span. So we can lose the map. I'm going to have... Actually, it's going to be Luna. Roll a check. Okay. Eclipse. You watch over the next several minutes as Brightwing starts tracing these movements in the air. And after the first several, the diamond that she's holding leaves her hands and begins to hover above the body. And then over the next couple minutes, it starts to spin as she continues. Brightwing, what would she see in terms of color, visual, anything like that from your spell?
I think there is a light wind that just encircles us as the spell continues to grow, and it gets a little bit stronger as the time continues on. Brightwing's feathers, I would say, are starting to glow a bit as this ritual is getting. And the diamond itself, there's spits of, I don't know what to say. It's magic, but you know from just being around Brightwing and Vana especially, it's primal in nature. It's nature itself as this diamond is being split, as just nature is trying to grow into it and encapsulates it, as new life is trying to form from this diamond.
Okay. 4 minutes. 5 minutes. 6 minutes.
Yasnip would get here before anyone else, right?
Yes, Yasnip, early on in this, one turn actually after we left off, you would arrive at the top of the stairs and see the beginnings of this ritual, the diamond, Eclipse, almost vacant-eyed, and nothing on the ground.
And I can't see him because he's invisible.
You cannot as he arrives. What would you like to do, Yasna?
I'd walk up. I assume see the loot.
I don't think so.
Or did you leave it in the room?
I imagine Eclipse would have left it, unless Eclipse you wanted to grab
I
it,
didn't
but
get to it because I got
Yeah.
to her first. Yeah. I
the
don't
loot
have
is
it.
back in the room.
So I'd probably be running, and as I see them, I'd slow a bit.
Okay.
What's going on?
Hey. She didn't make it. I don't know what happened.
Ryman, can you fix it?
I'm trying.
I think Brightwing is like tightly closing her eyes and super concentrated, so I don't even know if she knows you're here right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably walk up. drop invisibility.
Okay. You appear. Eclipse and Brightwing, you both see Yasnip appear next to you, and at the same time, you see Faye appear on the ground with a massive gash where her collarbone is.
What did Brightwing say before any of this? How does this work?
I guess we find out when she's done. I didn't want to interrupt her.
And I think she's silently mumbling at the same time, but you would recognize it's her own language as she's casting the spell. But I would also say you probably hear her voice and then something deeper coming from her as the spell continues on. As if something else is talking through her.
Okay. Yasnip?
Can you go get her loot? I didn't have time.
Yeah. Where is it?
It's in the door. It's just inside.
You see the open door to Hugo's office down the hallway.
How far away is it?
30 feet.
Mage hand.
Okay.
And I'll have that get that. And as the hand is going to retrieve the loot, I'm just going to put a hand on Eclipse's shoulder. I need you in this moment.
They're
Okay.
gonna fucking pay for this.
I don't care about that right now. We can't think about that. Be present.
Right.
Okay. 7 minutes. Aedwin, Remy, you two have been sprinting behind Luna as she headed back down that hallway, down a side corridor, through a number of large open rooms, a library, up a staircase, across another hallway, up another staircase. And about 7.5 minutes in to the casting, the rest of you hear the sound of footsteps sprinting towards you from down the hallway opposite of where Hugo's office is.
Just standing up with my weapon out.
Okay?
Yeah, I'd probably get up. I don't even think I'd pull my spear out. I'm ready to go.
Okay. Both of you stand kind of over or in front of Faye's body, and around the corner, you see Luna, Aedwin, and Remy appear. You all see Eclipse and Yasnip standing in a defensive position in front of what is now a very colorful flurry of arcana. Seems to be focused around Brightwing. You hear her muttering on her knees and in front of her Faye's body.
I'm gonna look dead at Aedwin.
His eyes are darting. He's examining everything in excruciating detail. His head, for a moment, darts back to the door, runs it up and down, looks back, and as he does so, his breathing, it gets faster and faster and faster, and as he does so, the orangey red that's at the end of his hair begins pulsing up and down, faster and faster and faster, but not a word.
Okay. Luna looks at you, Eclipse, panting, looks at the door, looks back at you. Dad?
I don't know. I didn't see him.
She takes off, sprinting towards the door. Remy and Aedwin, what do you do? You just stand for now?
What's going on? Is everyone okay? You look pretty bad.
I'm just gonna, if she walks up to me, I'm gonna kind of point back at Faye.
Oh.
I need to fix this first.
And cast Cure Wounds on her.
On me?
Okay. You can roll that. Aid, when are you standing back, stepping forward?
I think he will probably absentmindedly step forward a bit.
Okay.
He's gonna end up just slightly walking past Remy and Eclipse. And I think once he's parallel with Eclipse, he'll stop. What happened?
I tried. I really tried. She was like that when I found her. She was invisible. I'm lucky I found her at all.
He's just continuing to watch.
Okay. Amidst this, you all hear what sounds like things being tossed from the office, and then something between a scream of pure rage and a growl or roar. About 30 seconds later, Luna comes back out, still gripping both daggers. Looks at you, Eclipse. No words.
I just give her a knowing nod.
And a few seconds after that, the diamond shatters, and the dust spreads slightly over Faye's form. Brightwing, you know the casting is done. And I am going to ask who would like to contribute to this resurrection ritual.
Before we get to that,
Mm-hmm.
as the dust settles on Faye's body, the air stops immediately, but the color still remains. So we're all like encapsulates in this color, and it feels like time is frozen in this moment. And Brightwing looks up to you. Her eyes open for the first time since casting. They glow just slightly, and they go back to her normal eyes. I need you to reach out to her. In this moment, she can hear us, but she needs you to reach out.
Who would like to contribute?
Aidwon will step up. Still basically hyperventilating. And as he gets down to his knees.
You fucking idiot. You're supposed to do what I say, not what I do. You're not allowed to do this. Until I chew you the fuck out for it.
I will say roll an intimidation check.
9.
9 total.
9 total.
Okay.
Yasnip will set the lute against the wall nearby and pull out his hand drum, kneel down by her body, and as he starts to very faintly, almost ghostly even, he'll start to have impacts into the drum. And he'll just look at her squarely and say, "The first day I met you, we talked about sharing stories of legends and heroes. If how was what your mother wanted you to do as well. And at first I thought the plan was to just take the stories for your own of other people. And then I saw what you were capable of. And that you're looking to make your own stories. And gods, I will be damned if you standing back up, picking up that lute, and playing that same first song is not the best way to start that story. And thinking back to the almost absent drumming that I had heard when she was first playing on Streets of Proward, I will emulate that drum cadence as closely as I can.
Okay. Roll a performance check with advantage.
It's an 18.
Okay. One
Grim,
more.
you'll
Eclipse. I have many things to say, but if you would like to call to her.
I think you'd do better than I would.
Brightwing's gonna get closer to Faye and brush the hair out of her eyes and grab her hand. In a journey with you, my friend. I think we had very similar paths. We wanted to not be alone anymore. I found other means of being not lonely, and you found your family. And trust me when I mean this, Faye. They're your family. I saw every one of their hearts when I met them. And you give them so much love and so much joy. So don't you ever doubt that you're not part of that family. And don't ever doubt that you're part of this family. Because you are. You're not alone anymore.
Okay. Roll a persuasion check.
$16.
Okay. As you finish speaking, you watch the diamond dust settle, and its glow transfers into Faye, and the outside of her form begins to glow. DM dice. That glow strengthens slightly and begins to pulse. And the pulse grows larger and seems to expand almost, light refracting out. As Brightwing, you feel the spell reaching its pinnacle. And the pulse begins to match with the beat from Yasnit, and then the light reaches the lute, and you hear a chord as if from nowhere, and then another on the pulse, and then another in time. And this goes on for a few seconds. And you wait and watch. And then the beat slows, the pulse slows, the chords slow. And as they slow, you begin to see Faye's chest rise and fall, and rise and fall to the beat. And that is where we'll take our break. Welcome back. Faye, you have been in some sort of in-between that is darkness and little else. Your consciousness is aware of almost nothing but empty space. And then you begin to hear voices, music, and in a moment, you feel a jolt and your eyes flutter open on the ground beneath just about everybody.
Faye, stay still, okay? You're still really hurt.
Eclipse.
I'm gonna just grab her hand as gently as I can manage right now.
Couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Later. Later. Hey. It's not you. You didn't do this. You didn't do
What
this.
happened? What happened?
Well. She kind of points back at the doorway. I don't know. But you weren't here. Like you are right now. You were gone for a little bit.
Kind of like
At this time, Brightwing is going to again start to ritually cast Prayer of Healing at 3rd level because it's the only
Okay.
thing I could do, really, with the spell
Okay.
slots I have.
Okay. You start casting.
Okay. While she's doing that, while Faye's kind of laying there, did Luna come out of the room at all?
As you finish your focus on Faye, and as she reaches up and grabs the wound, you hear what sounds like metal against stone, and you look up and see Luna pacing like a caged
Yeah.
panther, and every time she reaches one end, there's this like stone pillar with a bust on it, and she just slashes at it with her dagger, and then paces, and then comes back and slashes at it again.
Okay. I'm gonna squeeze Faye's hand real quick. You will later, okay?
I need
Right
to
now, it's okay. We'll figure it out. It's okay. You're here. Okay. I'm sorry I couldn't get here sooner. I'm gonna lean over and just give her a very friendly kiss on the forehead now that she's fucking alive. And I'm gonna get up
Okay.
and go over to Luna.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to grab her while she's moving. Just kind of. I'll wrestle her if I fucking have to, but I'm just trying to get her to stop for a second.
I am going to say, just roll a d20.
Okay. Yeah, it's a 6.
Okay.
I'm just as fucking rattled.
You walk up to her, put a hand on her shoulder, and she just immediately smacks it away and keeps pacing. She makes a turn, and this time, instead of staring straight ahead where she's been staring, she clearly looks over at you, shaking her head. What do we do?
Look, whoever did this. Whatever did this. Probably did that to her. We're gonna figure this out. They are not gonna fucking get away with this. Is
Faye,
he in
have
there
you
at all?
She shakes her head and then looks over at Faye. Are you sitting yet?
I would have tried to sit up.
No,
Okay.
Brightwing would have immediately put her head down. I think your head's like in Brightwing's lap.
Probably true.
Because she doesn't want you to reopen your gash.
Okay. So she looks over at Faye, stops her pacing, and takes a few steps that direction. Faye, you see Luna make eye contact with you.
I'm gonna grab her so she's not gonna hound her with a million questions. Luna. Trust me. I get it. I'm right there with you. You gotta let her breathe. She wasn't alive a few seconds ago.
Roll a persuasion check.
Come on. Can I please roll anything? Alright. That's a 9, because my persuasion is trash.
She breaks eye contact with Faye, but loud enough that everybody in the hallway can hear. Turns towards you. If there's something she knows, we need to know it now.
And I'm right there with you. Just give her a minute.
He could be anywhere!
And he's not here. We're lucky he's not a corpse in there.
Hey, Edwin, are you near me?
Yes.
I'm gonna make eye contact with you. And break Brightwing's grip and reach out for your hand to stand.
He will help you up.
Hey.
I'm fine. I'll lean on you. But I want to be up.
Luna turns back to look as you stand.
I'm gonna let Luna go and let her do her thing.
Do you know where he is?
No. But I know who took him.
What happened?
There was a portal in the corner. And right before I was ambushed, I saw him slumped over the shoulder. Warforged brute. There were 2 of them. It's got to be the assassins that Rylas was talking about. The same ones that killed all those political figures.
Was he dead?
He had one of those fucking circlets on his head. The same circlets that the children had.
Luna looks at you, Eclipse. And then back at Faye. I don't know what that means.
He did.
They wanted him alive.
They wanted what he knew. But I couldn't do anything.
Hey.
They were waiting. It was an ambush. They knew someone would come for him. The last thing I saw They stepped through that portal and it closed, but I couldn't see anything on the other side. It was just blue.
Do I recognize a spell that would work like that?
Good question.
I will say, based off what you've heard so far, you can roll an Arcana check with disadvantage. And Remy, from an in-game standpoint, would understand that disadvantage, quote-unquote, given how little detail has been shared, and know that if she were to acquire more detail, it could remove that disadvantage, if that makes sense. There's been a very little amount of information. She knows there's a lot of portal conjuration magic. She could take a guess now, or she could try to learn more. It's up to you.
Well, we know a little bit already. We know who took them, and we could cast spells to try to find them. And you said it was a portal. A blue portal? Was it a spell?
I don't know how long it had been open. I don't know if they were the ones who cast it or if it had been open for some time. I'm assuming it was. We need to look
Yeah.
around. We need to
Are
look
there
for
room
signs.
was the room was tossed, too. Was it like that when you saw it?
Yes.
They were fishing for any signs of information. They were cleaning up.
Where's his secretary?
What?
Your father's secretary. The person that was in here with us taking all those notes.
They were here?
I don't know. They hear everything that he hears.
There's
They
been no
went
sign of
with
them.
him.
Are there windows in that office? DM?
No.
None.
Is your dad ever in here alone?
He's always in here alone. That's what he's been doing for weeks.
Has my spell gone off, DM?
I will say we've been getting pretty close. We'll call it now.
Okay.
Your prayer of healing goes off. Roll the HP.
That's 3d8.
Also, as it does, you all hear the sounds of footsteps and clanging armor from the stairwell.
I'm fully defensive.
Okay.
24
Spears out.
points of healing to everybody.
Damn.
Like each person gets 24? or you
6
split it?
creatures, so I don't have any. I'm good. I have not been hit at all.
Okay.
I desperately need it.
Okay,
10
Edwin,
points.
Faye.
Everyone but you is 6 creatures. Oh, and Luna, who looks pretty bad, so you
I'll
do have
give
to
up
pick
mine
one.
for Luna.
I don't need it.
Yeah, I
You
give.
don't need it. All right,
Okay, yes,
then
it does need it. So everybody
the
but
cats-
Yasmin and
the wizards,
Okay.
Faye, and I miscounted.
Yeah. No, you're good. Everyone but Yasniv.
And
It's
I think Brightwing
24.
hasn't really been paying attention because she's been ritually casting this.
Hmm.
But as she kind of like spreads out, and I think feathers come from her and spin all around you as your wounds heal and that big gash cleans up. But because she's done 2 very big spells that she's never done before, in this manner, I think she kind of falls to her knees for a bit because that was a lot of magic. And she's breathing a little heavily, but other than that, she's okay.
Okay.
Grab her by the arm. Try to help stabilize her.
And you all see a pair of ivory guard clang into view from the top of the stairwell.
Is the panther still in the stairway, by the way?
Oh, that disappeared a long
No.
time ago.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Swords out, shields armed. They reach the top of the stairs and take everything in.
I'd instinctively hold an of arrow and wait to see what their reaction is.
I hide behind Eclipse.
Yep. Do you know what happened?
I'm gonna look at Faye. Hell happened up here. Where have you been?
We just came through hell as well. There was a mess out on the front, and there's a mess in the hallway below. Bunch of statues fallen over.
Fallen over.
On the ground. Odd.
They weren't moving.
Not anymore.
No.
It used to be.
All right.
It's not important now.
Hugo Fornor has been kidnapped.
Do you know by whom
Yes.
or why?
Don't know why. Definitely by who. I need you
Are
to
you
make sure
willing-
no one comes through here.
The one who's been speaking looks at the other one, nods, and then he looks back at you. Are you willing to come with us for questioning?
How about we wait till tomorrow?
Roll a persuasion check, Aedwin.
These are his bloody children. You think they're going to leave? Give them
With
a
advantage.
peek.
Pop off, queen.
24.
Ooh! Okay. All right. We'll set up a post here. Can you return after dawn?
Yes.
Don't let anyone, even yourselves, in that room.
Understood.
Someone got in with magic.
Understood.
I'm gonna walk with Luna back in the room,
Okay.
and I'm gonna double check everything.
I'll follow them in.
Okay.
I'll go too.
I'm not gonna
Okay.
move as much as possible to keep it exactly the way that it is. But if there were secret compartments in his desk that I knew about, notes that he put places that I should know about, anything that I would typically know about his desk specifically that most people wouldn't, I'm checking those places.
Okay. Is anyone not coming with into the room?
Adrian
I
will trail behind her.
I think Brightwing's probably gonna go sit on the staircase.
Okay.
Did anybody give Faye her loot back?
I grabbed it from the wall, or would have before we started moving.
Okay. Brightwing on the stairs. Go ahead.
I'm looking for different things, but we can do Eclipse's thing first.
In the room?
Yeah, I went with them, but
Okay.
I'm looking
But
for something
you're looking
else.
for something specific?
No, I want to see if I can track like any points of entry besides that, and then see if I can ascertain any kind of like an order in which they searched. I don't know
Okay.
if that's a hard one, but
Okay.
I'm gonna look for
Um.
signs of magic and what kind of spells are cast.
Okay. I will say each of the three of you are doing something pretty uniquely different. So I will have each of you roll an investigation check. If anybody else besides those three, besides Brightwing, wants to specifically aid one of those three, you can tell me how.
I actually think Adwin is going to do something else.
Okay. What's Aiden going to do?
He's going to be looking around for any sort of identification, anything that was left behind by those two that he could use for the book.
Okay.
I would
Okay.
probably take some different implements and run them along creases within the desk to see if I could also help locate trap access doors with Eclipse.
Okay. Remy, are you doing... Remy's looking for magical traces. Luna is... I'm going to say Luna is standing in the doorway, somewhere between keeping watch and watching what Eclipse is doing to make sure that she gets the stuff that she would know as well.
Okay.
So she's not actively helping. So, all of you who said something except for Yasnip, roll an investigation check. Eclipse, yours will be at advantage.
Okay. Come on. Okay, so much fun. The first one was a 7. The second one's only an 11, so it's not much better, but it's double digits at least.
Okay. Who else got what?
I got a
30,
12.
Remy, 20. Edwin, 12.
I
Faye?
got a 24.
Sweet.
Okay.
Expertise.
Okay. Eclipse,
Mm.
you make an initial pass on the desk, the books on the ground, and you're, to put it very mildly, distracted. Probably the remnants of tears in your eyes still clouding. And your search is somewhat scattered. And then halfway through, Luna, from the door, Eclipse, the book, and nods up. And it takes you a second, and then you remember. There is a secret compartment, not in his desk, but in an area of the bookshelf behind his desk. And you know that if you locate a certain book called Phases of the Moon and Their Effects on Arcana and pull it, it will open a compartment.
Okay.
So you got to do that, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. Edwin. There is little to nothing. There are imprints in a couple spots in the carpet from what is very clearly a very large, very heavy foot. So you get that, but that's about it. And from what you understand of Soulforged, it does match up. Although, if you didn't already know going in that it was a Soulforged, you might not even be able to pick it out. But with what Faye said, seeing that, it does make sense. Beyond that, there's nothing that you can pick out that's gives any clue of any remnant from these people, creatures. Remy, do you have detect magic?
No.
Okay.
Out of my mild curiosity, would the seeing invisibility have worn off by now?
How long does it last? It would. Okay.
Just a minute.
Just want to make sure.
You case the room, searching for anything. You know that there are methodologies by which magic can be traced, even after it's been cast. And there are obviously methodologies by which you can detect magic when it's still active. But without using either of those capabilities, you know there's not going to be much necessarily. There is a point when you reach the right side of the room where you feel what is almost like a buzz of static electricity and your hair almost like stands up just a little bit. And you recognize it to be what can be left in a place by somewhat significant magic of some kind. It's faint, but with a 20, you pick it up. And you, with your intelligence and that roll put together, this is likely the area that Faye was talking about with the portal. But you don't get anything more specific about it from that. Faye, you were specifically looking for points of entry and exit.
That and like what they tossed and like what their methodology was into like how orderly it was.
Okay. Much of what you find thrown to the ground, knocked over, there's not necessarily much rhyme or reason to that you can determine. With your roll, you do find something that the others don't notice, which is in a waste bin by Hugo's desk. You see several bits of paper or scrolls that seem to have been burned. Otherwise, it could very well be that they were going through random areas and tossing because they didn't know where to look. It could be that it was all a ruse and they were just throwing things willy-nilly for no particular reason. You really can't tell, but you don't draw any specific conclusions from what is left behind.
What is on the... Is it just the edges of pieces of paper, or is there anything distinguishable about those scrolls?
It is the majority of several pieces of paper. With your roll, I will say you're able to pick out bits and pieces of it. And it seems to be... There are mentions of the political figures. And there are... You probably find with a 24, one mention of the assassins. Like half of one of their names that you recognize.
Are these the notes that were taken during our meeting with him? Is there enough context to ascertain that?
There's... It seems like something else. It seems like research notes. That's about as much as you can gather. This is from a very high roll that otherwise would have given you like a couple words that really made no sense. And you're able to piece a little bit of it together, but most of it is burned. Eclipse. Luna says this to you and you remember.
Yeah, so I'm at the bookshelf looking for the book.
Okay. Takes you 10-15 seconds and then you see silver book with on the... What is this thing called? Somebody
The
help
spine.
me. The spine.
Yeah.
An artistry depiction of the phases of the moon.
I think she'll put like a claw on it to pull and then she stops.
Is it the same as the logo?
Yes, it is.
She just looks around. Are we alone? Are they still fucking watching?
There's nobody else in the room, right?
Not that you can see. Everybody stands in relatively the silence you're hearing now, Eclipse, glancing around.
I need to
You
make
see
sure
nothing.
no one is fucking watching.
To get Brightwing.
If you can.
I'll walk out to Brightwing.
Okay. Probably you hear Yasnet pat up behind you.
You would come to her and she's sitting and she's just kind of staring straight outward, but you just see tears rolling down her cheek.
You know, there's probably a lot that's going through your head right now. But I think we still need more of your help.
Sorry.
You're fine. Take the time that you need.
She'll stand up. She'll walk over, and I'll use my last spell slot.
When she gets up, I'll, seeing the situation, kind of brush away a little bit of the tear. Move a few of the feathers. Only if you're ready.
I think Brightwing takes 2 steps forward, and then she turns around and she just hugs Yasnib.
On your back.
For like 30 more seconds, and then she like, what do you need?
Eclipse needs to know if there's somebody watching. I don't know much else, but I figured you might be able to help with that. Perhaps talking with her.
Okay. I'll go and
Okay. As a note, Brightwing, mark a use of DM inspiration on your sheet.
a use?
Mm-hmm.
can
you
use
have it.
one.
Oh, I was like, I never had one. Oh, I
No, you
get
have one now.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. You get to the room. You see everyone in various states of investigation.
What do you need, Eclipse?
I need to make sure no one is spying on us.
Of magical means, you mean, yes.
They got in here with it. They're not allowed to use it in here anymore.
And I'll cast Detect Magic. And her eyes glow. It's instant, right? It's not ritual.
Doesn't
can
have
be.
to
It can be ritual.
but it can be.
I think it's probably more in this instant would not be like, let's just sit around for 10 more minutes.
Eclipse seems pretty.
She is the most rigid you've seen her.
Yeah.
Since
it's
she
not
got
time for
here.
ritual magic. And
Yeah.
I will use my last spell slot and I will cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Fans out from you.
I'll look around.
You get nothing from the room. Nothing from the wall that of books that Eclipse is standing at. You get a very, very faint. Let me just double check to make sure. residue of abjuration magic on the lock of the door that you can tell is no longer active.
Like it was dispelled?
Something like that, potentially. And that's all you get.
Brightwing takes a minute to walk around the entire room with her very perceptive eye, gleaming over everything for like a good, I think, 2 minutes of the 10 minutes, making sure she
Yeah.
gets everything.
If Eclipse looks like you finishes, she's like, please do it again. I'm not
she'll
kidding.
Look again. And she'll look again.
Okay.
Over and over again. I don't see anything watching. But that door, she points at the door, had a magical means of lock on it that has been dispelled.
Right. I'm gonna look at Luna because I'm guessing she's still in the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
Close it.
She just nods and closes it. Puts her back to it from inside.
Keep watching. And I'm gonna pull the book.
Okay. You hear and a section of bookshelf swings open. You all see this happen. And inside you see what looks to be, it actually looks quite a bit like the inside of Brightwing's pocket knife, that dark wood space. And you see a pile of, a few piles even, of sheets of paper.
Who has the bag? Do we have one? I'm just gonna shovel the paper in there.
Okay.
I'm not even really gonna look at
With
it right
the-
now.
Bookshelf opening, is there any new traces of magic in the bookshelf?
No, it seems
Well,
mechanical.
Okay, I'll say because I know people aren't watching. I'm gonna methodically look through each one of them so I can vividly remember what's going in the bag, so I can remember what to
Okay.
pull back out, and I'm taking a catalog of each thing that goes in there.
Okay. To what degree of detail? Are you just eyeballing each page to get a sense of the theme and then putting it in, or you're trying to
Yes.
like speed read each page to know everything that's on there?
I think she's trying to get just the vague idea, so that whenever we go to pull back out, it's just the paper with this on it, the paper with this on it. Like, even if it's just one word at a time, just as long as I can remember something from each one.
Okay.
Even if it's just shove it in a book and throw it in all at the same time. Like, just, it's trying to catalog how much is there and if it seems important, but it doesn't even matter at this point. He hid it for a reason, so it needs to be
Okay.
protected.
Seeing
Okay.
Eclipse just handle these papers, I'm gonna help her organize and put them away, and also try to get some more information.
Okay. Remy pitter patters up alongside you.
I go pick up the one and then I look down. You were always better at this than I was.
Yeah,
I'll hand her the
all the
paper
time.
as I look at it.
Okay. And then
So it's
have
just kind of
her
a
put it in the
chain.
bag?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's just kind of a chain at that point.
Okay. Remy, I think that you are probably proficient in speed reading. I will have you roll an investigation check, which I believe you have advantage on.
Mhm.
Okay, roll an investigation check with advantage.
Investigation 24.
24. Okay. Eclipse, you make more of a cursory glance and then hand it. The first things that catch your eye immediately are a couple packets that on the front page are symbols with 4 diamonds, one around a flame, one around a series of geometric shapes. You notice those and hand them off. Remy, you, with your 24 speed reading check, pick up quite a bit before handing it to Faye. There are several pages of research notes attached to this sketch of this flame symbol, which you've not seen before. It's like a small tongue of flame surrounded by 4 diamonds at the points of the compass. Thin diamonds. And you see scrawled in pretty decent handwriting several paragraphs of notes, bullets, additional drawings. And you see a number of things. You pick up a number of key factors. The first few pages seem to be theories about what this might be. You see mention of a long-dead cult called the Winged Flame, known to have worshipped the memory of dragons in the early years post-reclaiming, after dragons had been annihilated. But no records of activity from this cult over the last several hundred years. On another page, you see notes about a possible connection to Sildarian rebels, calling themselves the Embers, who are reportedly discontented with King Lanthir's rule, believing him to be senile, tyrannical, and or corrupt. And this group seems to be linked with Kaz-Orthil, the city, which there are notes that this city is also the seat of the Valkyrion family, which I will put in here, who these rebels believe to be the rightful rulers of Sildari, ousted by the Lanthir dynasty during the Crucible War nearly 500 years ago. And then there are a couple of pages detailing powerful evocation casters or collectives of evocation casters, as the flame is often used in symbology for that school of magic, something that you would know. A couple of the individual names you see mentioned: Katerina Delmirev, the Dracar of Evocation in the Archesian Order. There is very little information about this person, but they're just mentioned, and there's some brief notes about the Archesian Order itself. And another section talks about Arcanist Isilra Maris. I'll put both of these names in. Isilra Maris, you recognize immediately that name, but you also see additional notes. They are the professor of evocation at the Arathis Academy. And there are notes of an interview between Hugo and Maris, where she denies any knowledge of the symbol. And with the meticulous notes Hugo keeps, it is pointed out that this interview was conducted under the effect of the Veritas orb, which you experienced the day before, his sort of zone of truth item. That's everything you see of note on the flame symbol. You then see a second packet of notes on the symbol of geometrical shapes that are within each other, surrounded again by these 4 diamonds, very similarly. These notes are much more bare. There is nothing concrete, just various musing and notes of threads to pursue. There are things like cults, ? Casters or caster collectives, as with the flame ? But what school, if so? And with your knowledge of magic, you would acknowledge and clock that there is not a particular school of magic that matches this symbol in the way, or is used commonly to address that school of magic, any school of magic, in the way that the flame and evocation are tied together. There are some questions or musings about business conglomerates, maybe an architectural or engineering firm given the shapes. And that's it. Then there is also a packet, and Eclipse, you note immediately a sketch of a blightling. And it seems to be a series of information about these creatures with everything that Eclipse had previously provided in her reports. There are various sketches, some of which are pretty accurate, Eclipse, to what you had seen. Remy, you have not seen one, so these are new creatures to you. Others seem exaggerated, as if from eyewitnesses or maybe secondhand accounts that were embellished or misremembered slightly. There are notes included on similar creatures and effects to what Eclipse has described that could potentially have some relation. Specifically, there is quite a bit on skulks, as well as some mention of goblins, and then a page on the blight spell and its usages through history. There is also a page on creatures from each of the Shadowfell and the Feywild, based on some of the reports that had been given, but nothing that particularly ties in very concretely to the Blightlings from the notes you see. And there is an additional page on the history of the creation of monstrosities using dark magic, including references to creatures of darkness that fought under the abyssal forces of the Garkalins in the War of Ashes in the 17th century. Here's that word. And finally, there is a page on reports of disappearing or missing items from the consortium, pieces of research or books. Some briefly mention titles, others mention attempts that were foiled within the last couple months. That is the vast majority of what you get.
Do I catch those ones specifically? Or is Remy the only one that catches them?
You would
I-
It was
see,
just a
because it's his own page, you would see some brief notes by your father, which, by the way, you would recognize his handwriting in case there was any question.
Okay.
Detailing that there were concerns about missing books, people attempting to steal documents, with a couple titles mentioned.
Has that been happening around the time that I've been gone?
Yes.
I'd also be making comments on what I'm reading
Okay.
So
I think
out
once
loud?
you-
out loud. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think once you get to that one, I'm gonna grab it back. I'm gonna look at Luna. Did you know about this?
She... Do you mean... And she walks over, leaves the door.
Yeah.
Comes alongside your shoulder.
I'm gonna show it to her.
Yeah. That,
Do you remember what they look like? Anybody? Did you catch anybody?
there were a couple students that were caught from the academy. And then there were some that just seemed to go missing. Initially, I think Dad and some of the archivists just thought there was issues with the records, but it happened too often. It became a little suspicious. I assume that's why Dad made note of it. Not enough to launch any sort of formal investigation, but clearly he was concerned, I guess.
It happens. But I think these are important. We might need that formal investigation. So I'll hand it to Remy, who can catalog it.
Okay. It gets put in. All of the rest of you heard Remy making mention through as she went of most of this stuff.
Notably, people would probably see as she finishes up that first document with the flame, Eowyn's attention is immediately caught as he's hearing this.
Okay.
There's something about that that's just rubbing me the wrong way. I've got a bad feeling.
What do you mean?
I need to get to the sheath.
The what?
The Swords Outpost. Here in Alea. We've got it. We have to go.
And that's everything?
Mm-hmm.
Do I know how to close this?
There are a few other, like, personal effects.
I take them.
Okay.
I take them anyway.
Okay. And yeah, you would know how to close it. It essentially
like
closes and relatches itself.
It's like an art project with your paw printed in.
I don't even care. I throw it in the bag. It doesn't get
Yep.
to stay in there.
Okay.
They get nothing if they come back.
Okay.
I make sure it's closed. If it's been a short enough amount of time, I have Brightwing look one more time. If not, have her constantly fucking scanning because I don't want it to be interrupted for a single moment.
The detect magic would be down at this point, but you know she's very perceptive, so you can tell her
Yeah.
that.
Okay. She's just gonna look around the room at everybody. Then she's gonna focus back on Faye. Thank you.
Didn't do anything.
You're here. When I couldn't be. And that means more to me right now than you could ever know. And I'm sorry it was you. But I promise you right now, they won't survive this.
I'm just gonna
I'll
reach
make
up
it hurt.
and grab your face and like press my forehead to yours and kind of dig my hands in the side and like share that with you.
They're gonna feel it. I don't care if they can't. I'll make them. And I'll give her the biggest hug that I can.
Okay.
I'm with you.
I'm gonna look at
Faye.
Adrian. We need to go, right? Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Edwin, you can answer.
I was just saying that we need to go.
Yeah. There's someone we need to talk to.
Go ahead.
Faye, just for everybody's visual sake, I told you it would be up to you. Do you have a scar?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Remy? Do you know how to lock this door?
There might be a key somewhere around here. Not magically.
Okay. I mean, I didn't find a key while I was looking around. I'm guessing he keeps it on him.
He does.
If there's no key, I might be able to lock it as we leave.
Wow.
Don't they need to get here to
Yeah, they need to investigate it. I think we have everything for now. If they didn't take it already, they'll try to come back and they won't get this at least. So, we foiled him a little bit. Okay, let's go.
Okay. Edwin, you want to take the group to the sheath, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. It is, and Yazim could tell you specifically, but you know based off how you felt when you woke up, probably 2 or 3 a.m. Do you want to go there now, or do you want to rest and go there in the morning?
We're going there now.
Okay. Okay. You guys make your way back down the stairwell, back through that hallway. You see the forms of all of those objects that you had fought motionless on the ground.
Do we
Remy?
pass my house at any point?
You will
Sure.
not.
Okay. Then we
Burnt
just keep
patch
going.
of carpet.
There is a burnt patch of carpet that looks like it's been stamped out, and it looks like it spread a good 3 or 4 feet before it was.
Oh no!
There's magic. We'll deal with it. I don't care.
Add arson to Brightwing's
Wow.
attempted arson.
Attempted arson.
Remy, what is your passive investigation?
Investigation?
Mm-hmm.
19, I think? Or 16.
16 final answer?
It's just 10 plus investigation mod, right?
Yeah, and it should say on the left side of your sheet.
It doesn't on mine, but it's 16.
Okay.
Mine's higher than that. Is this specifically for Remy?
Yes. With that high of a passive investigation, I will have you roll an investigation or arcana check, your choice,
The
as you
Arcana.
pass through this room.
Uh, 22.
Okay. As you're moving through this room, pretty quickly, there is a point where you catch a glint. And you are a very investigatory person. This is a very investigative situation, so you're keeping an eye out for things. And you catch this glint. And you take note of it kind of a little to the side of the main path everyone's walking. You go off slightly, get over to it. And you see something you missed during the fight because it was a freaking fight with some gigantic things. What looks to be shattered pieces, remnants of a light purplish glass or crystal material. And once you notice that, you case a little bit more, and with a 22, notice several more. And fall behind for a bit of the rest of the group while you sort of observe, see a bunch of these now. And you rolled Arcana, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. You, given the nature of what occurred, and now finding this, you have a click in your mind. These very much seem to be the remnants of an animation orb. A magical item which can be shattered to release a very powerful version or cousin of the animate object spell that can last longer and create stronger collections of creatures. Most people here are not super aware of this, but your study of magic and that role means you are, because they are extremely powerful and extremely rare in Kathos, as they are outlawed in Kathos due to legislation enacted years ago after a series of terrorist-level attacks using the orbs. And you would know, based off that, they are not illegal in the realm they come from and are made from, which is Sildari to the south. And you would know they are typically used by very rich or powerful people in that realm for short-term workforces, protection, service, mostly mundane stuff. But you recognize the material, and you put it together with what you fought, believe that that is likely what it was.
I'll gather up some of the shards and I'll run back to the group. Well, I think we already knew this, but these people are really powerful mages, and I think they might come from Sidari because I found a bunch of animation orbs around the tables. And they're illegal here, but they're not illegal there. And they kind of act like a spell, but a more powerful version of the spell.
I'm gonna take out my own bag, so not the bag of holding. I'm gonna hold it out to her. Can you put that in here? Yeah. For later. I think that's important. We'll get to that though.
I also think they were really powerful casters because when I went to the side of the office and there was like the static, and that static usually comes from really powerful spells.
Yeah.
And I'll turn to Faye and I'll go, I know you were dying while it was happening, but do you have any clue of like how big the portal was or what it looked like in more detail?
Matt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the answer is yes, I saw it, but what did I gather?
It would have been probably about 6 to 8 feet tall from what you remember, and maybe 3 to 4 feet wide. Was a bluish, crackling energy that you could not see through. That's about all.
I didn't see any, but like I didn't see the spell cast, right? It was just there when I arrived.
As soon as you opened the door, you saw the light from it, and then when you stepped forward a little bit, you saw the portal, yes.
And at the time, the Soul Forged was walking towards the portal, or was he was standing in front of the portal, like he was waiting at attention?
Yes.
Yeah. So the assumption is that it was up and ready, waiting for them to go through, so it could have been up for any amount of time.
That is as much as you could gather from it. That makes sense, yes.
Yeah. Share all of that.
Okay.
With those details, does anything click?
Roll an Arcana check.
27.
27. Okay.
I think she got it. Maybe just went off.
Okay. Give me 1/2 of a second, please.
You know what they say, meets it beats it, so.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's just like rolling a natural 20 and getting all the lore dumped.
Okay.
Again?
Oh, yeah, crazy how that works.
There are a couple of things that click with that in your mind. Potentially. There's quite a bit of teleportation magic in the world, and it can look different for different people, different casters, different classes of magic. So there are a number of people for whom a variety of spells might look somewhat like that. Whether teleport, Misty Step might even look like that for some people. But given its power and the specifics that Faye has shared, you probably narrow it down to one of two things. One is the spell Arcane Gate, which is very high level. And the other is a portal that can be created by a magic item that you are familiar with because you're holy shit Arcana rolls these days, called a Geiger Portal Rod. Geyger. Which is a short rod with a gem, a different colored gem on each end. One is amber, one is sapphire. And you can essentially click one end to create a portal.
Blue and yellow portals.
Have an hour
I fucking hate these people every time.
to click the other end and create another portal that is connected.
Matt, you're not even being subtle. It's just,
Hey, man. It
it's
works.
just, you know.
It works.
It's magic items, fam. I don't know what to tell you.
Sure, yeah.
It's a portal
Yeah.
gun.
Oh, bravo.
Oh God.
Well, yeah, that does sound like very powerful magic.
I will also say, given your 27, there is an interesting thread between the two things you just, I'll call discovered, but grasped, we'll say. The orbs that you just found and the rod are both items that could be used by anyone. The what Brightwing described with the lock of the door, you don't know. There are likely magical items that can do that. So you're not sure. But you have a little bit of a inkling in the side of your mind that it's possible that much of this was accomplished without actual spell casting.
Goddamn agents.
Well, it could have been a really powerful spell, or it could have been a Geiger portal rod. And seeing as they used these animation orbs instead of actually casting a spell, it's likely that they didn't have magic themselves. And I'll look at her face scar. They're pretty good with swords.
So it should be a fair fight when we kick their ass, right?
Okay.
How
You
far
guys
could
keep
they have
moving?
gotten with them?
What?
If they use magical items, how far can they go? Anywhere?
Anyway.
The portal?
Is there a range that I know of for the rod?
Yes. You would know Arcane Gate is 500 feet. And you would know that the rod is a distance that can be covered in an hour because it's not based off distance. It's based off creating one portal, moving to another location, and then creating the second portal to connect the two.
Dang, that's a cool item.
Well, they're probably not far then. They're at most an hour, 50 minutes outside of the city. Or outside of here.
Just anywhere within an hour. Just anywhere. So the 24 hours that it would take us to search that anywhere within an hour, that it would take a legion of people to search anywhere within an hour, they would be an additional 24 hours away. You'd never find them.
You can tell Eclipse is counting the numbers in her head.
Mm-hmm. You're muted, Sean.
Adwin is also counting numbers in his head, albeit probably different numbers as he has been zoned out for most of this second part of the conversation.
Hmm.
I imagine I'm rerunning my patrol like several times over
Mm-hmm.
and trying to figure out how far it would be in an hour.
I will say, given your experience, Eclipse, with that, you know it could essentially cover the entirety of the city. Probably if moving quick enough, if someone was moving quick enough, they could get out of the city in that time.
And they've had like 30 minutes ahead of time since, because I've cast for 20 minutes, and then we basically were in there for like 10 minutes searching around.
They're counting on us not knowing what you saw. And that's how we'll get them. But they definitely got us.
Edwin, can your book get anything with a name and a description?
If I get an exact name.
We have their names. Brylas gave us their names. Iron Hand and Umberblade. I don't know if that's their real names, but that's what they're called. Colloquially, at least.
It could give us something. Yeah. But before we do that, there's something else I gotta clear up.
You all right?
I look alright. Me being alright is not the priority right now. Prestidigitation to get the fucking blood off of me.
Mm-hmm. And
How far are we from the sheath?
like a half gallon of blood is
Oh.
onto the ground.
Don't love that. Don't love that.
I think Brightwing just stares at it.
Me too.
Adwin, you would know it's probably a 20 or 30 minute walk to get to the sheath. You've been there once or twice.
We've probably been walking there this whole time.
Yeah. 20 30 minutes from where you are, which is outside of the consortium at this point.
Yeah.
You guys keep going that way?
Mhm.
Okay,
As we're
Edwin.
keeping walking, I think
go ahead.
Brightwing goes up to Eclipse. If anything else happens tonight, I can't be much of help. I'm sort of spent. I'm sorry.
You did. Incredible. And I'm gonna look at Faye and then look back at her. You did that. And if you ever can't walk, I will carry you. And you won't have to do anything else tonight.
I can walk. I think I'll just take her hand.
Fuck. Right, wait. Thank you. I didn't say thank you.
You don't have to say thank you, Faye. I'm sorry I couldn't get there before I needed to do it. Just happy it worked. I don't know, I've never done that before. We don't that often. The Wilds and I both think that you have much more life to live.
I'll try to live up to the honor.
You already have.
I'm gonna go give
Around
Leah a
that
hug.
point. Okay.
Mhm.
Hugs for everyone. The huggability scale is getting put to the test. Around that point, which is maybe 5 or so minutes after leaving the consortium, there's a branch pointing the road. Luna grabs your shoulder, Eclipse. I'm sure whatever you were doing is important, but I think I should check on Mom. And tell her.
I feel like I need to go with you. You shouldn't have to tell her on your own.
It's your call.
I'll catch up. I'm gonna go with her.
Okay.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
also look at Brightwing. Anything goes wrong. Okay.
Okay. The Fournois sisters split off towards the home. Aidwin, you continue leading the group. Eventually, after about another 15 minutes of walking, you all reach a relatively simple, actually familiar looking building, because I think most of you went with, or maybe half of you went with Aidwin to the Sheath, Neil Mara. Simple stone and wood. There is a faint lamplight from inside the window.
Hard pause the door.
If you're talking, Sean, you're muted. Don't worry, we're not
Just
all
stop being
relying
muted,
on you
forehead.
for this moment.
Dude, it's doing it on its own. I swear. You're right.
Tell me, am I going to be arrested on sight going in there?
No. I made sure of that a while ago. If they try, they will fail. I'll open up the door.
Okay. You open the door, and there's sort of like an antechamber place where people can take off armor, boots, if needed, hang up equipment, and then there's a second door which you know is typically locked in sheaths.
Anybody here?
Not in the antechamber, but you see that faint light still coming from inside the next room.
I'll go ahead and give it a knock.
Okay. You pound the door a few times. There's a few seconds of silence. It is 3 fucking a.m. in the morning. There had better be someone covered in blood, and the door opens. and you all see a lithe and surprisingly ripped red tiefling woman. Deep red skin, thick black hair that is tied up into cornrows between curving horns. Piercing gold orange eyes. Has a very Michelle Rodriguez sort of look. In armor, very similar to Eowyn's, with a large, nasty-looking hand axe hanging one on each hip. The door opens. You see this figure scan of the covered in blood, except for Faye, group of people here. Okay, that is surprisingly similar to what I just...
Yeah.
Do we qualify?
Do you qualify? Is that what you ask?
Mhm.
Just for fun, Faye, roll a general charisma check.
Does she get advantage for the battle scar?
I mean,
No.
It's 21.
I don't need it.
She glances at you. Yeah, I suppose you probably would, regardless of the fact that Eowyn fucking Lazarius is standing in my door.
We've talked about this. Just Eowyn. And we have a bit of a problem.
Yeah, it looks like it. The fuck do we need somewhere
Yes.
to talk? Okay,
And the lieutenant also needs to be there.
Yeah, okay.
And we also need to contact Captain Dolkryan.
Fucking hell.
The consortium was attacked.
Okay, I thought it was going to be easy. Take him to the meeting room, second one on the right down that hall. I'll get married.
Understood.
was Lazarus part of the paperwork? Was that one of the names in the papers? Or am I just crazy?
What papers?
The ones that you were talking about.
From the bookshelf.
From
That
the
way,
bookshelf?
behind the
Okay,
bookshelf.
great. I thought I was going crazy for a second.
No.
We'd be in a much bigger situation if that was the case.
Yeah.
She heads down one hallway. Aid, when you lead them down the hallway she mentioned, there is a meeting room there.
Yes.
With a couple of tables. You all set up.
I collapse.
Yeah. About 3 minutes go by, and then the tiefling woman walks back in. Right behind her, a well-built Kel man. This is a Hry Kel, not an Ard Kel, which you have previously seen with kind of the tannish skin. This one has greenish, almost aqua skin. Barrel-chested, around 6 feet tall, balding on top with a ring of salt and pepper hair that turns into thick mutton chops and a thick chin goatee. Again, well, this one not in armor, looking like he was just woke up.
As soon as he enters the room, Eowyn stands up and salutes.
Yep. He stops for a moment, surveys everyone, slowly salutes back.
Brightwing's gonna salute. She doesn't know what to do. In the background.
Amazing. Yep.
Lieutenant Merritt?
And Donnie says, there's a lot.
Yes. Quite a bit.
Okay, take it from the top. And he sits down around a table. The tiefling woman, who you take to be, and Donnie, the rest of you, stands at the door, kind of leaning up against the door jamb. which is closed.
The consortium was attacked by a pair of assassins. They came in without much of a fuss until they evidently decided to animate much of the inanimate objects within the consortium. They used that as a ruse to defend themselves so that they could kidnap Hugo Fournoir.
What do you know about them? Anything?
These are the same assassins suspected of killing the sovereigns most recently.
There's a lot of names on that list.
More than 2. How many?
I don't know, a dozen, but obviously there's not concrete evidence for any of them.
We have a lot now. Before I continue, Lieutenant, a slight sidebar. I've recently heard of the swords being conscripted into this ongoing potential war effort. I wanted to know your thoughts on that.
Something of a loaded question. There's been talk of it. No one's been sent to a front line yet. Hell, there isn't a front line to send anyone to yet. But especially in Orthill, there's been a number of swords who typically would have been sent out on another mission by now that have been kept in waiting, in limbo of some kind. Talk is they would be the first. It's not Red Forge is doing things in a different way than I would. You know that. That's why I left. It's not what I signed up for. It's not what most of us signed up for. I don't know how far it's gonna go, though. Why do you ask?
Because I think I have a pretty fucking decent idea how far it's gonna go now. We need to get Doc right in, and I'm going to ask him the very same question to determine where he lies on this. And once we know his thoughts, I will explain everything.
What's the urgency on this?
This is a matter of national security. Possibly far greater than that.
I can reach out. I don't know if... I mean, I'm assuming he's asleep. You're talking right now.
As urgently as can be done.
He opens up a pouch that's kind of hanging at his side and pulls out like a thin piece of leather that has a trio of loops in it. And set in each one of the loops, you see a smooth, round stone. All right. And he pulls one out. Edwin, you would recognize all 3 of these. The one he pulls out has a symbol of a wave on it. The other 2 have a flame and a mountain. Some of you with higher passive perceptions might be able to make that out. Probably Brightwing, Faye with the investigation, and Remy with her passive investigation, and Clips with her passive insight, or her passive perception. So Yasmin, you're probably the
But
only one who
not
doesn't notice
there.
this. Oh?
Can you just
Oh,
repeat
that's
that?
right.
Went off. Yeah.
Yep.
Can you repeat
Yeah.
that? My Discord exploded.
The lieutenant, you assume, pulls out a series of stones inside this like leather, small piece of leather that has these loops on it, and they have symbols on them. The one he pulls out has a wave, and the other two have a flame and a mountain. And he grips this stone. Captain, emergency at hand. Attack on the consortium. A sword named Aedwin requesting an audience. Transmission mirror at the embassy. Immediately. I trust him. And it ends. Puts it
As
back
soon
in
as-
the loop.
As soon as it ends, I turn to Brightwing.
I understand you've done a lot for us tonight, but what's about to happen next is extremely important, so I need you to focus.
Is Leah
Is
here?
Leah here? That's the next question.
No.
No, she is not. God damn it.
Hold on. Hold.
Holding.
Hello? Question mark. Okay. You know what we'll do while this is happening?
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh,
Yes.
there you are.
Okay, I can hear you, but you guys can hear me.
Yes, we can
Cool.
hear you.
Okay.
Did you hear what Aedwin just said to you
yes,
or no?
to be
Okay.
just alert.
Yes.
Every single word that Captain Dockwright utters, I want you on it. I need to know whether or not he's telling us the truth.
I don't need magic to do that.
Okay.
Okay. Once the sending is over, you finish that conversation. We're gonna have to move to the mirror.
Run.
And Lieutenant Merritt leads you all out, down a hallway, turn another door, and you reach what looks to be an office with a large rectangular mirror rimmed in what looks like iron or some sort of dark metal. Take a seat, it might be a bit. Several minutes go by. Gets up to maybe 15. You begin to grow impatient before there is a...
As
And
that
there is a-
happens,
Uh-huh.
I'll lean over to Brightwing and just say, not that you have any reason to doubt, but I have full faith. I'll give you a bardic inspiration.
Okay. A trail of grayish arcane spark swings around. Leah freaks out. Are you okay, Leah?
Yeah, it's just my
Okay.
everyone's going choppy for me.
Yeah, you look choppy too. I think your internet's being a butthead.
Okay.
DM us if you lose internet, boat.
Okay.
As long
for a
as you can
second.
hear.
Yeah.
And you see as the mirror shimmers for a second and then crystallizes what looks to be middle-aged halfling man in an office that looks somewhat similar to this one, if a bit more ornate. Bald, ruddy skin, an auburn goatee flecked with gray, and has the body type and overall look of a retired sailor. Dressed in a loose-fitting white shirt and what essentially appeared to be the first pants that he could grab, looking tired, no boots, sitting in a chair that he appears to have pulled in front of this mirror. Right. There'd better be a fucking good reason I'm up this late. Or this early.
Captain, I have a few questions. Or rather, just one, before I continue.
Right.
What are your thoughts on the conscription of swords to war?
It's way too fucking early for this conversation. I mean, I don't want to be involved in it. I don't want my men to be involved in it. But I mean, if that's the order that comes down, I don't know what I can do about it. I can speak up, but I don't imagine that'll do very much.
I will turn to Brightwing
I'm here, I can hear you.
to see what she thinks.
Can I roll?
Roll an insight check.
Okay.
With advantage.
With
If you want.
advantage.
Or not with advantage, with bardic
Inspiration.
if you want.
I rolled a 16 plus 8,
24.
24. I could add it if you
Do it.
It's up to you.
Okay. Yeah. D8.
Would the insight check carry across the entire conversation at this point?
That's a good point.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. 5. 29.
Ooh, one short of the first 30 of the
I
campaign.
know, right?
Okay. Okay.
I've had a 30
You did?
on a deception check.
Oh my Lanta, because you have expertise.
Mhm.
Goodness. Okay.
I mean, I could cast guidance. Make it
Nope,
alert.
too late. You do not sense any deception. You do sense hesitance. You get a pretty clear indication that this person is treading on coals that he does not want to disturb and is attempting to speak somewhat vaguely and impartially, or to walk a middle ground almost, but not out of, it doesn't seem to you, a attempt to deceive or protect any secret. It more seems self-interested in terms of keeping himself out of harm's way, almost.
I just look to her for any sort of confirmation.
She gives you a. I don't know how would you describe that look? Like that there's more to it than what he's letting on.
But that he's not trying to explicitly deceive us.
That's a lot in a look.
Yeah.
I know. I think I had to say it out loud. She's not very good with faces.
Well, I expected just like a nod or something. Like,
like if he's lying.
yeah, like
You
that
will.
was what I was.
Aedwin is giving you a look of what should I expect, and you have the opportunity to respond. What do you do or say?
I think she just kind of gives you a nod of like I let him keep talking.
Okay, so kind of more of a continue nod than a, like, reassurance nod?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how perfectly you can interpret that, Edwin, but
but-
you see a nod.
That's enough to give me the all clear.
Okay.
Captain, the Lycian Consortium was attacked tonight by the same pair of assassins that are believed to be responsible for the assassinations of several sovereign across the realm of Aanthara.
You're talking about Ice Scale and Storm. Those would have been the figures assassinated.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sorry. I thought that's what it was.
Yes.
Do you have some evidence that the rest of us don't? I thought that investigation was still highly pending.
There has been a lot of information that has come to light as a result of this attack. Importantly, Hugo Fornard has been kidnapped by them. Using the same silver band reported to have been used to kidnap children in the cities of Proward and Sofeld, if you recall that report.
I do recall it. Fornoir is the head of the consortium, is that right?
That is correct.
He takes a second, looks to be in thought. In that second, you hear a slight intake of breath from the door. Look over and see Andani looking at you, head slightly cocked. Describe those bands you just mentioned.
Silver bands, circlets, put around someone's head to knock them out cold. Keep them that way until it's removed. Sound familiar?
They have gems that light up to slow down heartbeat.
She looks at Merritt for a second. He looks back at her, gives a slight okay nod.
What's that?
There was a break-in like 3 months ago at Redforge. Bunch of stuff was stolen, number of weapons, items from the main armory and beyond. And my aunt is the captain there. She mentioned a lot of this to me, and there were a number of stasis circlets in the missing equipment. And she looks at the mirror, looks at Merritt, looks at you. There's whispers. My aunt in particular, the circumstances of the break-in were a little suspect. She thinks it was an inside job, or could be.
I'm almost certain it was. These assassins were conscripted to kill royals. Why? Tensions have been raised between the nations. Someone's trying to start a war. And I have a pretty decent idea of who's looking to make a profit of it.
Doc Wright, as you say that, kind of sits forward in his chair. I would consider your next words very carefully, Adwin.
I do not say lightly the circumstances that have led to this point, nor do I choose to ignore the observations made. Many of the resources we found that they used for the consortium break-in were made in Soldari. If the break-in doesn't seem believable, that it was in fact an inside job, I believe we cannot rule out the possibility that these assassins were hired to take out the sovereign of two nations, to pit them against each other, so that our commander could not only gain the money from it, but influence across Aanthara as well.
Dockwright sits up and sits back with a, well, fucking put that on the table sort of demeanor. Merritt stands up. Looks stern but says nothing. And Donnie, that's a pretty fucking big ball to drop. I think it likely goes without saying, none of this leaves this room. Or the one I'm in. That's... That is a very heavy accusation to level.
One that currently lacks enough information to prove to be true.
It does.
If there is a hole in the logic, I offer you an opportunity to point it out.
Merritt finally breaks his silence. As far as I can tell, this is conjecture. Logical as it may be, there's no evidence. There are a lot of theories for why these people could have been assassinated. I would recommend everyone here take care considering or communicating that theory. For now. That doesn't mean it can't be looked into. And he looks up at Indani. We may have means to do it. But I wouldn't say it again.
As we continue to explore this, myself and this group, known as the Twilight Heralds, will continue treading this path with the primary goal of getting Mr. Fournoir back home. Any further information that comes from that will be directly reported back here. What I would ask is some assistance in this endeavor. Because the individuals that we face, they are not of normal make. They make entire countries shudder in fear. So I ask if if I may. For the sword sponsorship of this group, by whatever means that can be provided, for us to continue to explore this thread.
Is there a particular reason you're heading after Benoît?
His daughter is with us.
And if you find him, you expect him to be in the presence of these assassins.
We do.
Do you believe you can handle that, sponsorship or not?
As of this moment in time, we lack the necessary information to confront them directly. We were caught off guard. The next time it happens, it'll be them.
Merritt, do you have resources for something like this? A bit. I'm sure we can scrounge something up. Alright. Consider it a sword's mission, Edwin. Merritt, give him whatever means you can. And I want, in return, for nothing to be said about Kethros, Redforge, any of it, without my go-ahead. Agreed.
Agreed.
Alright. Time's about to be up anyway. Good fucking luck.
Thank you, Captain.
And the image fades. It might take a bit to pool our resources. If you're willing to come back in the morning.
Absolutely, yes.
Alright, we'll pull what we can.
Would there happen to be space for my group here to stay for the evening?
There is if you need it.
I think we might. Just for some additional protection.
Amongst the resources, do you have any investigation over the missing boy from the south? Missing child. He was... I forget, what was he? He was...
It was an art kill.
Are you talking about the Kel from the forest? The woods?
It was so long ago.
The one, because from the drawings. Was
The
it
one from the
Kel?
woods that you tried to speak to that no one
Yeah.
made contact with. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Not that I know of.
There have been no reports of a missing boy.
I mean, I'm sure there's missing children throughout Olea, but nothing I know about that meets the description We're not particularly in the business of finding lost kids. Unless they're a really, really, really rich person's kid, I suppose. Sorry.
It's fine. I thought I would ask.
Alright, we'll set up bunks for you.
Thank you.
Okay. That scene concludes. Does anybody in that group not want to stay in the sheath? Okay. Remy, are you going home or are you going to the Fornoir house?
I'd probably go to Eclipse and Luna first.
Okay. And Yasnip, I assume the same.
Yeah, likely.
Okay. Faye and Brightwing are down to stay at the sheath.
I am asleep as soon as there is a bed within 5 feet of me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Brightwing was probably staying with Faye because she
Okay.
knows there's like revivify sickness, so she was probably
Okay.
making sure Faye was okay.
Okay. Yasnip and Remy, you start making your way back. Eclipse. Rewinding in time a bit, you arrive at the house with Luna. Well, I was gonna tell her if you weren't here, but you're kind of the older one.
Oh my god.
And she puts her hand on your shoulder, and you see a look that is noticeably and surprisingly serious and deep for her. I'm here.
I'm just gonna open the door, because I'm guessing she's not even awake right now.
Nope.
I'm gonna go knock on her door.
As you reach the door, Luna's walking with you, and you lift your fist and knock. She grabs your wrist. Should we wait till the morning? Nothing's gonna change for her. But it's a few less hours she has to dwell on it, sleepless.
Yeah, you're right. She'll probably be up in a couple of hours anyway. Knowing her.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think I'm grabbing a pillow and a blanket and setting up here.
I'm gonna keep watch.
Okay.
I don't know if they'll come for her.
If they do, you fucking shout.
Yeah.
Okay. She goes and grabs pillow, blanket, brings it out right in front of her mom's door, your mom's door, lays it down. Where do you go?
I'd probably sit in whatever his designated chair would have been in the living room. And just perch and just
Okay.
wait.
Okay. Half an hour passes. An hour passes. 2 hours pass. Remy and Yasnip show up in this time. They come through the door. You guys see Eclipse seated in the living room.
It's the obvious flinch, because of course it is. How did it go?
Said a lot of stuff that I don't really understand. But I guess with the situation at hand, we're permission for the swords to get back your father?
Well, I didn't need them for permission, but okay.
I didn't think that you would.
You could use all the help you can get from them.
Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna say no, but glad they understand this much at least. Luna's gonna sleep in the hall. I'm staying up.
Do you need company?
I won't say no.
Find a chair in the room and just sit.
Sit on the armrest next to Eclipse.
Okay. Okay. Time continues to pass. The three of you are exhausted. And each of the three of you starts to drift in and out. Can I have everybody but Eclipse mute?
Do you mean deafened?
No.
Just mute.
I'm gonna allow you to stay here.
Can I say, just for thematic's sake, that every time I feel like I'm starting to drift, I'll just dig my claw into my hand to like wake myself back up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Maybe the fourth or fifth time that happens, you dig, you wake up. You're not downstairs. You're upstairs in your own bed. And you hear the sounds of banging and stomping and muffled voices from downstairs. What do you do?
I get up and go downstairs.
Okay. So you exit your room. You see all the doors of the hallway that the rest of the group has been staying in these last night open. Do you keep going downstairs?
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way downstairs. You hear those muffled sounds coming from, seems like, the living room. Some sound like hoarse voices conversing. Some sound like muffled cries of fear or pain. What do you do?
I go to help.
Okay. When you finally make it to the door of the living room, you see, spread out in front of you, Aedwin, Brightwing, Yosnip, Faye, Remy, Luna, and your mother, all on their knees, bound and gagged, each flanked by a dark, shadowy, cloaked figure holding a nasty, hooked, sickle-like blade to their throats. Before you have a moment to react, as you see this, there is a blur of movement from the corner of your eye, and a hulking shape comes rocketing towards you in the darkness. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Why do I roll like absolute trash? It's a 6.
You feel a massive fist, like a bowling ball sized stone, clock you hard as iron, strikes into your jaw, and you are nearly knocked to your knees from it. And you shake, stand up, and that figure is gone, nowhere near you. What do you do?
I look back at everyone. Are they still there?
Yes.
The hell are you?
There's no response. All the figures stare blankly downwards. You don't see faces. They're cloaked.
They're not making any movement to do anything.
They're not.
I take a step forward.
The second you take a step, that movement again from a different direction. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
A 13?
Nope. You feel it again, this time in your gut. The wind is almost knocked completely out of you. You stand back up, don't see the figure.
You've got a lot of fucking nerve.
Again. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
A 19?
Okay, make an athletics check.
Just athletics?
Mm-hmm.
It's a 23.
23. The figure comes a blur again, swings at you. You swing an arm up and deflect most of it, but you feel your forearm shatter. The bone's broken. And again, it is gone from your vision. It is a recurring, unstoppable, invisible until it's on you force. And you begin to feel something within you. Boiling. Something you have contained your entire life. Your composure, your stoicism are starting to slip, and you feel this burning well of strength within your grasp. But on the other side of a line you have never crossed. What do you do?
I think in her mind, she looks and sees her when she was younger. Who would lash out, who would fight, anyone who would say even a word, edgewise at anything. And in her mind, she would kneel down to that small version of herself and pull it into a hug. And just say, I need you right now. He needs you right now. Then I'd take another step forward.
As you do, you feel this surge within you, like vibrating energy, and the fur pretty much everywhere stands on end. And you see the streak again. Make a dexterity saving throw with advantage.
15?
Make an athletics check with advantage.
That's a natural 20.
The shape comes rocketing towards you, and without even thinking, purely on instinct, your clawed hand and catches it. And you look into a eyeless, voidless, dark face that stares back. What do you do?
I don't have any fucking time for you. And I'm gonna pull it and I'm gonna punch into it as hard as I fucking can.
You rocket into it with your other hand. It hits some center mass, and there is a shattering of shadow and light at the same time. And you... Remy and Yasnip, both of you are woken up by Eclipse standing in the middle of the room, fists clenched, hackles raised. Morning light streaming through the window. She is nearly vibrating with energy, focused, and invigorated. Eclipse in a way you maybe never experienced before. Your instinct has been unleashed, and you now have 1 level in Barbarian. Everyone else is level 6, and that is where we will leave this session.
Let's freaking go.
You know when you have a rock in your shoe? Just
Yep,
imagine
yep.
that rock was in your shoe for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Well done, everybody. Before we get to favorite moments, briefly now that we are on this side of the session, because I did not want to do this in the beginning or at the break, just some brief quick announcements. There is an amazing new overlay that we have been watching this on. Huge shout outs to Annika from the server where we play this game. Brutes, Books, and Bullets. Is that right, Leah?
Yep.
I always say it wrong. Okay. Or, yeah, any of you, all half of you are in that campaign. Check that out. Who helped make it, along with Brian, who helped make it. More cool stuff from that coming soon. Another small thing, there is merch that exists.
Merch!
This is a sweatshirt.
Merch!
And I don't know if you can actually read this or not.
Yeah,
You
it's
can,
there.
yeah.
It's there.
That is in a link in the description of this YouTube video. Okay, that's the wee bits of business out the way. Favorite moments before we wrap up.
Hit dice?
Oh, yes! Let's
Yeah.
do that! Everyone roll your hit dice except for Adrian, because he's fixed.
Woohoo. Well, let's calm down.
Roll!
So it's a 12 now?
It is a 12 for your
Yeah.
barbarian level.
Let's go!
7. It's a 7.
I also rolled a 7.
Okay. Yasnip.
Well, I think I can do my favorite moment now because I think my favorite moment is going to be Sean's face when he hears that I'm rolling a d6.
You fucking psychopath. What are you doing?
And that's a motherfucking 6!
Let's go, baby!
Let's go!
Is this the coffee lock? Is it happening?
God. Let's go.
Right wing.
I rolled a 3.
Okay. And Remy, who just disappeared, you can
Uh-oh.
also roll and level up if you want.
So Go ahead.
Oh, I rolled a 4.
Okay.
So I add this to the rolled HP number?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You'll add this to the rolled HP number. Add 7. Okay. Favorite moments besides Brian's D6.
I'm not dead.
Yeah!
Hey!
Holy fuck, yo.
Anymore.
Anymore.
Too stressed out for that shit, man.
It was a
today?
2.
Much.
It was a 2.
Guys, I rolled a 9.
Yep.
The fucking 9.
The first 2 rolls of the likely Fey death were a 2 and a 9, and I was like, oh boy.
Everything with Eclipse at the end, because that was just art in motion. I love it so much. Everything about that made me happy.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I'm very
Glad
happy
we're-
Faye's not dead.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad we're here
Yeah.
right now. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm glad that's all just over and we can like just keep doing things.
Yeah.
You know,
Pretty-
because it was like just the weight of all of that. It was so heavy.
Pretty
I
fucking
think-
excited to be done with that.
I think
Yep.
given how it was when we got into it,
Mm-hmm.
it went way better than I think most of us expected, even if the worst case scenario had technically happened for Faye, which was not making that save.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, because Yeah, there was a lot of opportunity attacks. A lot of other people could have fucking gone down.
Oh
that
my God.
was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna be
Ah!
honest.
Oh,
I
God.
had my backup character. I was reading through his sheet as that combat was resolving. I was like, did Remy just kill me? Like, did that just happen?
no.
Don't pick on me.
You are
You're
not
the one who
responsible.
casted Blink.
My headspace was, I can carry Remy out of here. I can't carry Eowyn out of this.
No!
No.
No one can carry Adwin.
Yeah. That was.
Eclipse could carry Eowyn.
Because
Eclipse
listen,
now could probably carry
Yes.
Adwin.
I mean, I could do alright. I could drag him at the very least.
yeah.
I got
The-
it.
The issue was that if I had just let Remy die, Eclipse would have killed me instead. So either way, it was kind of like a lose-lose.
Listen,
Well,
if
it
you had
was-
let Remy go, I would have cast
Hugo.
Fly, and we wouldn't have had that situation.
Okay,
Mm.
well.
It would have snowballed really hard. There
It
were
was
a lot of
Hugo. It
things
was
that
Luna
would've
being
been-
unconscious. It was Remy in the middle of the floor, visible, and I was just
That-
like, "Oh,
That was a
no."
bad point. I was like, this is not going very well.
Right after a 6 is rolled on the first check.
Uh-huh.
Fuck.
Well, like I was like, man, I just saw Remy and Aidwin be surrounded by robots, and I just left it, and I'm like, this is not. I'm glad that Jess yelled at me through the phone to come, because if she hadn't done that, I would have probably turned right back around and made sure everyone was okay.
We had a minute. It was fine.
Yeah, there
It
was
was
a
already
minute.
dead.
Leah, you're the only one left.
Oh, I mean, I'm all for the barbarian. That was freaking sweet.
I finally get to do it.
If I get to do it.
Yeah.
Like to rage. And then I also just like I just like the funniness of me having everything. I used everything, but I have all my hit points. But I used everything. I used all my shifts. I used all my spell slots. So
Yeah.
that was just really funny.
Okay, it was not everyone. Remy, Halia, do you have a favorite moment?
I mean, Fade not dying was a pretty big one.
Yeah.
That ritual was really sweet. And yeah, Eclipse's barbarian.
Mad
Yeah.
Kitty.
Guys,
Yeah,
I have 70 HP now.
Yeah.
That's gonna go.
I
Um,
almost had 50.
I do not.
I have
You do not.
64.
Am I the middle?
Damn.
What are you at,
Uh,
Brian?
44.
I'm at 43.
I'm not the
Oh
lowest
my.
anymore. Let's go.
No, it's just the healer.
And you went down a hit die.
Hey,
Like,
we're fine. We're fine.
49. I was like, for real?
I rolled a 3, y'all. Wasn't it great?
No.
The for me, it is quite easily the chunk of roleplay between Eclipse finding Faye and shortly after, really through the office, I think. That was some damn good roleplay by everyone here. And I was impressed. Good stuff. Alrighty, we will pick up there with a whole bunch of potential threads in the morning at level 6 next session. Adios.